Meredith, thank you. A jury found him guilty of killing 3 West Memphis second graders in 1993. Damien Echols was sentenced to die for that crime.
But this morning, Echols says he's closer than ever to getting a new trial. In about 3 hours, his legal team will present evidence to the Arkansas State Supreme Court, evidence they say proves Echols' innocence. Here's THV's Ashley Blackstone.
This is Arkansas's death row, the Varner Supermax prison. Cameras aren't allowed inside, but it's where Damien Echols this morning will wake up in a 9x6 cell.
Because I know that I don't have anything to hide. I'm not covering anything up.
He's done it for his entire adult life. It's his reality. At every step, shackled and escorted by jailers.
Like I said, I have more hope going into this now than I would have had a year ago.
He was a good kid.
It was 1993. The crime, brutal. 3 8-year-old boys beaten, dead in a West Memphis drainage ditch. 3 teens arrested. Jason Baldwin and Jesse Miskelly sentenced to life, and 18-year-old Echols, death.
They've invested a lot of time and a lot of energy into keeping us here, keeping us convicted.
Echols, now 35, believes he's closer than ever to freedom. His lawyers today will go before the Arkansas State Supreme Court with evidence they say clears him.
The judges will take everything into consideration, and they could come back with a ruling the next day, or they could come back with a ruling in 3 months. You never know. It's entirely up to them.
The arguments, DNA found at the scene doesn't match the 3 men, but rather one of the victim's stepfathers, Terry Hobbs. Plus, there's 3 witnesses claiming they saw Hobbs with the boys shortly before they disappeared. And finally, a sworn affidavit that the original jury foreman engaged in juror misconduct.
And you see things like that, and it makes you wonder, what else is there out there that has been swept under the rug like this? Who knows what information is floating around out there that nobody's paying attention to.
Echols' lawyers and the state will both get 20 minutes to argue their case. Meantime, in recent weeks, cameras were installed in the Court of Appeals. Proceedings will be live streamed on the web, a first in state history and relief for Echols.
And that's kind of where I've always stood on the thing about having media in the courtroom, is I'm all for it. To me, the more transparency that's there, the better it is.
In response to the hearing, today's THV received this statement from Attorney General Dustin McDaniel. It says, "Our office knows that there are concerns about this case, but be assured that we take the utmost care in handling the appeals of death sentences handed down by Arkansas jurors. We are committed to fairness and justice, not just for the 3 inmates, but also for the 3 little boys who didn't live to see middle school."
Just because your life is put on hold, theirs isn't.
As for Echols, he won't be at today's hearing, which is routine for anyone asking for an appeal, a requirement Echols doesn't have a problem with.
It's really stressful because I'm not used to things like that. I've been in the same place for 17 and a half years, so I'm not used to traveling or anything like that. So it's a really big thing to have to try to adapt and adjust to that, to being outside these walls, and at the same time try to take in everything that's going on in the courtroom.
So he'll wait to hear how it went, wait for the court's decision.
I believe with all my heart and all my soul that the day is coming whenever we will see justice and we'll walk out of this place. It may not come tomorrow, it may not come on September 30th, but it will come.
Ashley Blackstone, today's THV.
Now the proceedings start at 9 o'clock. West Memphis 3 supporters from all over the country are expected to be there.
Now to watch the live arguments, go to our website, todaysthv.com, for a link we provided. THV will have the latest developments throughout the day on that website. And of course, tonight at 5, 6, and 10. And Allison, it is important to note that no one from the state police nor from the West Memphis Police Department would comment on the case and where this could possibly lead.
Right now, Damien Echols' lawyers are arguing at the Arkansas Supreme Court that their client deserves a new trial.
The death row inmate says he's innocent of killing 3 boys in West Memphis in 1993. Proceedings started at 9, and it won't take long for things to wrap up. Echols' lawyers and the state will each be given 20 minutes to argue their cases before the 7 Supreme Court justices.
A court spokesperson says the justices normally will release their opinions in 2 to 3 weeks, not soon enough for Echols.
They've had this case now for, something like 2 years. They've been sitting there, they've had all the briefs, they've had a chance to look at all this kind of stuff. So really the only thing that they should have to take into consideration are the oral arguments themselves, what people say. They've had the information in front of them for a long time now.
Cameras have been installed in the court, so proceedings are being live streamed on the web, a first in state history.
And you can watch those arguments via a link at today'sthv.com. THV's Ashley Blackstone is in the courtroom right now. She'll have reports for us tonight at 5 and 6.
This noon, Damien Echols' appeal for a new trial is in the hands of the Arkansas State Supreme Court. Echols is on death row for the 1993 murders of 3 West Memphis second graders. His lawyer wrapped up oral arguments about 2 hours ago. THV's Ashley Blackstone was there and joins us with details. Hey there, Ashley.
Well, good afternoon to you, Stephanie. Echols' attorney told the court that DNA testing conducted after Echols' conviction did not place Echols at the scene. About 200 people showed up this morning and the courtroom was full, along with an overflow room. Echols' lawyer asked the court to send the case back to circuit court for an evidentiary hearing so that the trial judge can sort out all this new evidence. If the hearing is conducted, we are told that the judge would have to take the next step and order a new trial. We caught up with Echols' wife for her thoughts on the hearing.
I mean, I think that it's probably the best thing. I would love to see all of this new evidence come before a judge that's actually interested in justice and wants, I mean, we can't lose. We're so airtight in everything we have. We're right, and I think if we can put it before a judge, it's going to be decided and he's going to be freed soon.
This legislature passed a law back in 2005 allowing DNA testing in cases when the technology wasn't available in the original trial. However, Assistant Attorney General David Raup this morning argued the evidence has to prove innocence, not just raise questions. Then Attorney General Dustin McDaniel released this statement. It says, "Our priority in this case is the same as it is in every case, to pursue justice and fairness with integrity and professionalism." The trial court judge ruled that the standard to invalidate the jury's verdict and retry this case has not been met. Our lawyers defend that ruling today in reliance upon solid precedents. Now, a Supreme Court spokesperson tells today's THV that the justices normally come back with their decisions in 2 to 3 weeks. However, there is no set time limit. We will have much more on this story coming up tonight at 5 and 6. Stephanie?
All right, thanks so much, Ashley. Echols was convicted with 2 other men, Jason Baldwin and Jesse Miskelly. Police say Miskelly confessed to the crime, but lawyers argue that confession was coerced.